Have you ever heard someone say your glutes are weak? Maybe you've even been told that yourself. But here's something that might surprise you. Many people with recurring low back pain don't necessarily have weak glutes. In fact, some very strong people that I see in practice still struggle with low back pain. The problem isn't always just the strength alone. It's often their glutes aren't turning on when they're supposed to. Today I'm going to explain what that means, why it may be happening, and how you can start fixing that starting today. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt Bradbury, family corrective chiropractor, and here we are in Georgetown, Ontario, Canada at One Life Family Chiropractic. Today, we're going to be talking about how your glutes may not just be weak, they're just not turning on at the right spot. And of course, if you're just tuning in, don't forget, I love being a part of your health journey, so don't forget to like and subscribe so we can see more of each other along the way. When you look at the big picture, one of the biggest misconceptions is that bigger or stronger muscles automatically means better movement. It doesn't. And think about it this way. You can own the most powerful truck in town, but if the transmission isn't engaging properly, that power is never reaching the wheels. And your glutes work in a very similar fashion. They might be strong enough to squat or deadlift, but if they don't activate at the right time during everyday movement, your body starts finding other ways to get the job done. That's where compensation often starts. So why do the glutes stop turning on? There isn't one single cause. Usually is a combination of factors. Sitting, for instance, many of us spend hours every day sitting. The hips stay flexed, the glutes spend less time doing what they're designed to do. Another example would be a previous injury. After an episode of low back pain, hip pain, or even knee pain, your brain sometimes changes movement patterns to help protect you. And even after the pain settles down and the symptoms disappear, those compensation patterns can stick around. And of course, poor movement patterns. If every time you bend over, you move mostly through your back instead of your hips, your glutes gradually contribute less and less. The body gets very good at repeating whatever movements you practice over and over again. So what happens when your glutes don't contribute? Well, something else has to. And usually what I see, the low back is working overtime, hamstrings may become overly dominant, hip flexors may be feeling tight, and back muscles may constantly be feeling stiff. And people often say things like, my back always feels tight. And sometimes that tightness isn't because muscles are short. It's because they're doing the work your glutes were designed to share. Remember, your body is incredible at adapting, but compensation isn't the same as efficiency. So I'm going to show you today 3 simple ways to help wake your glutes back up and help improve the timing. Exercise number 1 is keep it simple. The glute bridge with a pause. Hold for 3 seconds, and I want you to ask yourself when you're up here, do I feel my glutes? Some important cues that I find really helpful: push my big toe down, drive my knees outward this way, squeeze, 3 seconds, and back down. You're going to perform these for at least 2 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Of course, if you're just starting out doing the 3-second pause, start closer to 10 reps as you build your capacity up. But really focus on that big toe down, knees out, and pausing at the top. Focus on squeezing and noticing and feeling your glutes. Exercise number 2, doing the side plank, but with a clamshell. Focusing on one of the most important muscles, your glute medius muscle, the smaller glute muscle, which is important for helping to keep your pelvis stable, especially while you're doing things like walking, climbing stairs, and standing on one leg. With this one, I want you to move slowly and stay controlled. So watch just like this. And when you first start out, you're going to work in that rep range of 7 to 8 reps. I come up, I pause, squeezing that upper glute portion on each side, focusing on my core muscles as well, and focus on nice controlled 7 to 8 reps for at least 2 sets on each side. And of course, in exercise number 3, I want you to grab a dowel just like this, and you're going to focus on just improving your hip hinge pattern. And what you do repeatedly in practice, you get better at what you practice. So I want you to focus on elbows down, feet just outside of your hip width, and you're going to press your big toe down and start the movement by bending at your hips first. So just like this, I shift back, and then I come back up. What you're focused on is 10 to 15 good repetitions, keeping your spine straight and not bending at your low back. When you come up, I want you to try to spread the floor apart, squeeze your glutes to initiate the movement, really focus on using your glutes to take care of the movement as you hip hinge over. And remember, you're not just strengthening muscles, you're working to teach your brain a better movement pattern so that when it comes to picking up the groceries, carrying your kids, doing all the things you love to do, things are more efficient and you activate the right muscles at the right time. And here's what I often think is missing from the conversation. Muscles don't decide when to contract. Your nervous system does. Every movement begins with a signal from the brain. If the joints in your spine and pelvis are not moving well, or your body has developed protective movement patterns, the timing of those muscles can change. And that's one reason why the health of the spine and nervous system is so important. We often call it the X factors. Many people have been doing all these other lovely things, but the thing is that fine tuning, well, corrective chiropractic is focused on motion of the spine, but also improving that communication pathway between your brain, your nervous system, and the tissues to help you heal, adapt, and thrive that much better. And of course, some of the areas you may feel, but some of the areas you may have no idea about. That's why it's so important to get tested by a corrective chiropractor to know what's going on the inside and how you can help your body thrive and do that much better. So something that you will want to consider. Anyways, I'll leave you with that today. If your low back keeps tightening up, keep these things in mind. Don't automatically assume your glutes are weak. Ask a different question. Are they actually contributing the way they should? Because a strong muscle that isn't participating properly isn't helping very much. Improve the timing, improve the movement, work towards building a more resilient body, and your back often doesn't have to work nearly as hard. Anyways, I loved having you today. And remember, if you haven't already, make sure you take a moment. I love being a part of your health journey. Like and subscribe so we can see more of each other along the way. Don't forget, you're far stronger, more resilient, and resourceful than you may have led to believe. Bye for now.